Sure. Here's a YouTube article on the GAZ Volga evolution, 2004, without using a handing condition. Title: The GAZ Volga Evolution, 2004, Russia's Forgotten Icon Reimagined. In the vast world of automotive history, few vehicles represent their country's identity quite like the GAZ Volga. While the name Volga has been synonymous with Soviet luxury and state authority, its story is far deeper than a government limousine. The 2004 GAZ Volga, though overshadowed by more modern international rivals, stands as a bold attempt by Russia to preserve its motoring heritage while stepping into the 21st century. Let's take a deep look into the design, features, development, and cultural significance of the 2004 GAZ Volga, an underrated yet fascinating chapter in automotive evolution. Origins of the GAZ Volga. To appreciate the 2004 model, we must first revisit the roots. The GAZ, Gorkovsky Avtomobilny Zavod, plant began operations in the 1930s and was instrumental in the development of the Soviet auto industry. The Volga line made its debut in 1956 with the GAZ 21, a vehicle known for its American-inspired curves, sturdy construction, and unmistakable presence on Soviet roads. Throughout the Cold War era, Volga models evolved slowly, often prioritizing durability over modernity. Used by the KGB, government officials, and taxi services, the Volga became a symbol of both power and function. Enter the 2004 GAZ Volga. By 2004, the Soviet Union was long gone, Russia was transitioning into a market-driven economy, and GAZ needed to redefine itself. With global competition rising, the company released the GAZ 31105 Volga, a heavily facelifted version of its predecessor. While many thought this model would be the last breath of a dying legacy, it turned out to be a surprisingly bold effort to modernize a historic nameplate. Design, classic bones, modern touches. The 2004 Volga retained the same basic architecture as the GAZ 3110, but with major visual updates. The body design was sleeker, with a rounded grille, integrated headlights, and modernized bumpers. Though the silhouette was reminiscent of older Volgas, it featured improved panel alignment and subtle refinements that gave it a more contemporary appeal. Inside, GAZ made significant upgrades. The dashboard layout was redesigned for better ergonomics, with new switchgear and higher quality materials. Although it couldn't match Western competitors like Mercedes or Toyota in terms of refinement, it offered a nostalgic luxury that resonated with its domestic audience. Engine and performance. Under the hood, the GAZ Volga 31105 offered a mix of Russian and foreign engine options. Initially, many models came with the classic ZMZ 406 engine, a 2.3 liters four-cylinder unit known for its reliability. However, to appeal to modern buyers, GAZ also partnered with Chrysler and offered a 2.4 liters stock engine sourced from the Chrysler Sebring. This collaboration was pivotal. It introduced more refined engine characteristics, smoother performance, and better fuel economy compared to the aging Russian units. It also represented an important moment in Russian automotive history, the blending of local production with Western technology. The Volga was never about speed. Instead, it emphasized a comfortable, floaty ride ideal for long Russian highways. The suspension was tuned for softness, soaking up road imperfections. Though handling wasn't sporty, it was predictable and secure. Transmission and drivetrain. The 2004 Volga typically came with a 5-speed manual transmission, offering reasonable shift quality for the time. A select few models came with automatic transmissions when paired with the Chrysler-sourced engines. Rear-wheel drive remained the standard setup, a nod to traditional sedan engineering. This drivetrain layout gave the Volga a sense of balance and durability, suitable for varied Russian terrains and climates. Features and comfort. GAZ focused on comfort in this model. The 2004 Volga featured power steering, central locking, electric windows, air conditioning, in higher trims, improved seat padding, upgraded insulation for reduced cabin noise. Though basic by global standards, these additions marked a major step forward for the Volga lineup. The vehicle now appealed not only to government officials or taxi fleets but also to middle-class families seeking a larger, more prestigious ride. Cultural relevance. Even in 2004, Owning a Volga still carried symbolic weight. It represented tradition, reliability, and Russian identity. The updated model tried to walk the line between nostalgia and modernity, keeping loyalists happy while attempting to lure new buyers. In a way, the 2004 Volga became a retro modern statement vehicle. People didn't buy it purely for specs, they bought it to connect with a legacy. In provincial towns and regional cities, it remained a respected sight, often chosen by those who grew up during the Soviet era or who valued domestic production over foreign imports. Challenges in the market. Despite improvements, the Volga struggled to compete. Foreign brands were flooding the Russian market, offering more technologically advanced cars at competitive prices. GAZ lacked the R&D budget and dealership network of global manufacturers. Additionally, safety standards and emissions regulations were becoming stricter. The Volga, with its dated platform, couldn't easily adapt. Even with Chrysler partnerships, GAZ faced an uphill battle. Final years and legacy. The Volga 31105 was produced until 2009, when GAZ officially ended its passenger car production to focus on commercial vehicles. The last units rolled off the line quietly, marking the end of an era that had spanned over 5 decades. Yet, the 2004 model remains important. It was a brave effort to adapt a classic to a modern world. For many, it was the last true Volga car that respected its roots while reaching for relevance in a changing Russia. Today's enthusiast scene. Today, the 2004 GAZ Volga has become a collectible in Russia and Eastern Europe. Enthusiasts appreciate it for its charm, simplicity, and historical value. Some restore them to factory condition, while others modify them with modern upgrades as suspensions, infotainment systems, and even turbocharged engines. Social media groups and classic car shows across Russia often feature the Volga 31105 as a symbol of pride. It's not uncommon to see them alongside Soviet-era classics and even modern luxury vehicles still holding their own in terms of character. Conclusion. The 2004 GAZ Volga wasn't just a car, it was a symbol. It reflected the nation's struggle to honor its past while stepping toward a more competitive future. Though it didn't revolutionize the market, it offered a compelling alternative for those who valued legacy and resilience. In the end, it stood tall as the final chapter in one of Russia's most iconic automotive stories. For collectors, historians, and lovers of unique cars, the 2004 Volga will always represent more than steel and rubber. It will represent an era, a culture, and a vision that dared to stay true to its roots. Would you like a YouTube title and description with hashtags for this article too?